want to be the best, sink ships and steal all of the treasure, but not everyone has the time to grind and become a master pirate. For all of those complaining that you are being sunk too often and not able to receive such treasures as the chest of fortune, what if I told you you've been doing it wrong? Don't believe me? Well, let me tell you about a tale in which I was in your situation, but my choices led me to what you desire. I arrived at the Fort of Fortune, and the first thing that I noticed was a rowboat parked by the island. I began to do the sensible thing. I fired at and checked the towers to rule out any tucker, and from what I found, no one was there. With no sign of another pirate and no mermaids around, I decided to proceed with the fort, taking on the skeletons, but I did what no one should do on these seas. I got comfortable, relaxed, and was too busy enjoying myself. Until, whilst I was on the Ashen Lord of course, the sounds of cannon fire filled my ears as a galleon had snuck up on me. Now I know a lot of you may think the right thing to do here is try and rescue your ship, but without knowing what players are on board the galleon, I grabbed my old trusty friend, a fateful keg, and began swimming towards their ship. As they were busy cheering over sinking a ship that did not fight back whilst collecting some loot, I climbed on board and saw them over at the harpoon. I decided my best option here would be to drop it behind them and make the fight a 2v1. Knowing there was now a hole below deck, I set both their top and middle decks ablaze, so that when they got down to bucket out the water, the flames would have already made them weak, so a couple of slices, a lunge, or one shot would finish them off quicker. This worked so much better than I had anticipated, as they were all being taken out easily, which soon led to the downfall of this galleon, as they also had sank. But now began the race back to the fort. All odds here were against me. I was as far away as I could be, against the wind, and trying to make my way back there. But to my surprise, as I sailed back in, they had still not defeated the Ashen Lord. To my side was another sloop making its way over, and so began a three-way battle. Cannons began to fire from everywhere, and I was struggling to stay afloat, especially as the only solo pirate here. But this is where you guys make the wrong choice. Tensions are high, and all you want to do is sink the ships and make a quick getaway with the chest. So you chase the fight, try and find an opening, sometimes winning, but many times it's you that ends up on the bottom of the ocean. But that's where me and you differ. I know here that I am outmatched, and no way could I win this fairly, so I tried a wacky technique as a last resort, and this meant sacrificing my ship for the glory of treasure. I set the red beard off on a path that seemed like I was still on board, circling near the fort, before jumping off and making it to the island. This actually worked, as they gave chase, leaving me to hack through the Ashen Lord, defeating him quickly and giving me time to grab the chest of fortune, legends, and the skull. Do you remember that rowboat from earlier? Luckily, so did I, as I loaded them all on board and began to row to the nearest island. I believe these pirates were not too observant, as they didn't notice me sailing away as they approached the fort again. But before long, I was approaching my destination. Before burying the treasure, my ship had already sank at this point, so I knew the map bundle would be safe now, and heading back to the Redbeard in order to sail around the long way, dig up my prizes and sell them at the nearest outpost. It's not always about brute forcing your way to the chest. Try something fun and let me know your own tales. But if this helped you, then be sure to subscribe, and if you want to see me stranded in the middle of the ocean with nothing but a chest of fortune, be sure to click this video on screen now. Arrgh!